Hi guys, I'm Corbin Rhodes and today I'm going to show you how to grow your own basil from store-bought stalks. We use a lot of herbs in our cooking and you always have the problem of all the packaging. I mean, per week we probably use about 6 or 8 of these herb containers from the supermarkets. So about 3 weeks ago I had this idea about growing my own basil from the stalks I bought from the supermarket. And it was actually quite an easy process, and these have been in here for about 3 weeks and they've made quite an impressive root system. So to start off with, you are going to open up your packaging and take out some basil stalks. And this seems to be harder than it looks. There we go. Okay, so let's see what we have in here. So basically, to grow a basil plant, you need to have, there we go, a stalk like this one. And so what I'm going to do is clip off the side, shoots and leaves, until you have a nice stem area. I'm actually also going to take off these leaves, these big leaves at the top, because they're just going to stress the plant out. It's really difficult for plants when you want to propagate them and they have lots of leaves on them, because these will just transpire and take moisture away from the actual plant that you're starting to root and grow on. This shoot has also started to produce flowers. Now this is a problem. So with basil, you don't want your plant to flower because basil is an annual. And part of the cycle of an annual is to grow, produce flowers, set seed, and then die. So if you take off the flower spikes from your basil plants, you can prolong their life. So what I'm going to actually do is cut out the flower. So I don't want my new cutting to produce flowers. And this is basically what you need. So now I'm going to fill my little propagation jar. Just enough water in the bottom. And place my little basil cutting into that. And just make sure to monitor the water level in your pot, because it can dry out quite quickly and cause your new basil plant to die. I'm going to plant these basil plants into a little recycled nursery pot, which I can't actually remember how I purchased in here, but I'm going to plant them in here and then later on plant them outside into my newly established herb garden. And I'm going to use a mixture of coco coir and a regular potting soil to plant these in. Basil is perfect if you like Italian cooking and pastas and also sauces for salads. It makes a great addition to anything. So to plant this up, I'm going to take my little pot and fill it up with the growing media. So that should be fine. And I'm actually going to plant all three plants into the same pot to make a nice and pushy plant. So just separate them a little bit. So I'm going to place the first one in. So I'm just going to put them all three in here. Keep them steady and then fill up with soil. I'm going to plant them into this pot in a community pot, and when they're strong enough, I'm going to plant this plant out into the garden so it can produce beautiful basil leaves for me. And the cool thing about this is that you can do the same process over and over and over again. Basil needs full sunlight to perform optimally, but remember that you need to keep it moist in hotter weather, and it's not intolerant of frost. So now I'm just going to water my plant a bit And this really helps the roots to settle into the media and to deal with the shock of being transplanted. And also remember that they need to go from being water roots to being accustomed to grow into soil. And there is a level of stress that goes into that transition. So I'm just going to gently give this some water. So I hope that this inspires you to start buying store-bought herbs and to start your own little garden so that you can always have a fresh supply of herbs to add to your cooking. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and please remember to hit the subscribe button to see more videos like these.